Bienvenue à l'ouverture des rencontres stratégiques, la première des rencontres stratégiques, c'est tenue le 1er octobre 2022 au Trianon Palace de Versailles. Pourquoi ce concept de rencontre stratégique? Premier point, nous avons oublié l'art de la rencontre. Nous n'arrivons pas à nous rencontrer. Aujourd'hui, notre monde en crise est aussi un monde en crise de la rencontre et de notre capacité à bâtir des rencontres. Des rencontres entre, évidemment, pour ce qui nous concerne, le monde académique et le monde professionnel. Trouver des lieux où les professionnels peuvent comprendre ce que développent les académiques, où les académiques peuvent comprendre les préoccupations des professionnels, plonger dans l'incertitude du quotidien. C'est l'objectif des rencontres académiques que de venir bridging the gap, comme disent les Américains, c'est-à-dire créer des ponts, mais vraiment des ponts où on peut parler, développer un langage commun sur la durée pour essayer de se comprendre. Pourquoi il est important de se comprendre? Parce que sinon, on a beaucoup de mal à poser des questions pertinentes quand on est académique et on a beaucoup tendance à réinventer l'eau chaude quand on est professionnel. Donc voilà, trouver des lieux, des rencontres où on peut élaborer ensemble sur des thèmes novateurs, sur des thèmes neufs, pas des thèmes marketing, aller en profondeur, creuser en profondeur, bref, le meilleur de l'académie rencontre le meilleur du monde professionnel. C'est aux rencontres stratégiques, il nous fallait un lieu d'exception pour cela, c'est le Trianon Palace de Versailles.
So my name is Xavier Durand. I'm the CEO of Coface. Coface is one of the leaders, global leaders in credit insurance. We have about 650 billion of credit risk on 3.5 million companies in 200 countries. And our job is to help our clients navigate the uncertainties of the world they are facing and transact effectively in this world. So I was here today to talk about my book called The Values of Risk. The principle is that life is risk and risk is life. Nothing has been created for humanity that did not contain significant risks, and most progress has been made when we were able to master and control risks better than our predecessors. You can think of construction, aviation, nuclear. Any of the large human inventions have entailed controlling risks better. So the question is, what's ahead of us? We live at a time when the world, it seems, has never been more uncertain, whether it is inflation, whether it is wars, whether it is social movements, economic conditions and recessions, pandemics. We're faced with a lot of uncertainty, and my point is that it's very hard to forecast the future in an effective way that you can act on. And so it seems more important to be able to react constructively with constructive improvisation to whatever the world's going to have to offer to us versus trying to plan for one scenario which is very likely to be wrong. And that this ability to improvise, to be flexible, to be resilient, is something you can work on. It's something that you can help by creating strong values in a company, which will be the frame of reference under which you will be making decisions, by practicing and by focusing on broad scenarios instead of trying to forecast one single one in a lot of detail. I think people tend to be very precisely wrong instead of trying to be broadly right. A lot of the management techniques that have been invented throughout the years try to control risk. We can think of strategic planning, we can think of process management, we can think of compliance processes, we can think of technology, digitization. All these things are good, but they tend to only help control risks that we've already seen. They do not help when it comes to new things that are going to happen to us. So I think this ability to be resilient and to constructively improvise, I would say harnessing all of the skills and competences that you find in a company and building a team that is used and confident to do this is the key, I think, to being able to build strong, resilient, and prosperous organizations in the future.
Cette idée des rencontres stratégiques m'a tout de suite paru particulièrement intéressante parce que j'ai pu l'éprouver dans le cadre de ma carrière de chercheur, et notamment en développant un séminaire il y a quelques années dans le cadre de l'école de Paris du Management, L'école de Paris du Management est un lieu qui organise aussi des rencontres entre des personnalités de secteurs différents, du monde académique et du monde des praticiens notamment, autour de thématiques ouvertes. Et ça, cette dimension d'ouverture est extrêmement importante, parce que quand on fait de la recherche en général, on a plutôt tendance à aller cibler une problématique très très particulière, alors que quand on a ces lieux beaucoup plus ouverts, on arrive à faire émerger des enjeux, des problématiques, des idées nouvelles aussi qui peuvent surgir à n'importe quel moment. Et en ça, cette idée de rencontre et dans sa capacité à faire survenir de la surprise, des questionnements, des croisements, des regards croisés, des angles différents sur des mêmes problématiques, peut être extrêmement fertile, et je pense qu'on a besoin aujourd'hui de cette fertilité.
So I think that business schools have already made many efforts to improve their impact and their efficiency vis-à-vis societal issues. But of course, we have to do more, certainly by having a research that is more oriented on stakeholders. And I would like to invite everybody to look at what research, responsible research in business and management is doing. That's very important. Certainly, we have also to adapt the doctoral programs so that they take the multidisciplinarity much more into account, and eventually have an output, meaning articles and books that are more oriented on business practice. I think the DBA is definitely a very good way, let's say, for managers to better understand, let's say, research. Of course, this is not a PhD, but DBAs have an important role to play to upgrade managers and perhaps later on to engage them in teaching activities.
Donc aujourd'hui, on a présenté les collections, la collection BSI, Business Science Institute, avec des livres de recherche, des livres des doctorants du BSI, et puis des livres des enseignants-chercheurs de l'Institut. On a présenté la collection Grands auteurs francophones avec les professeurs émérites en gestion. Donc je ne vais pas citer tous les noms, mais ils étaient très présents aujourd'hui. Vient juste de sortir d'imprimerie l'encyclopédie de la stratégie, donc un pavé d'à peu près 1300 pages, coordonné par Franck Tannery, Jean-Philippe Denis, Taïa Bafsi, Alain-Charles Martinet, le livre incontournable pour tout savoir sur la stratégie, et la collection majeure Grands auteurs. Le dernier titre n'est plus disponible, j'ai tout vendu aujourd'hui, mais on a grands auteurs en stratégie, grands auteurs au management, grands auteurs aux frontières du management. Donc nous, c'était l'occasion aujourd'hui de présenter nos ouvrages devant les chercheurs, les doctorants. Donc merci à Jean-Philippe Denis pour son accueil, merci à Michel Calica également.
Well, we had today the first session of the strategic meetings. It was really a great pleasure. First, because we think that meeting and the art of meeting, we have to rethink the art of meeting between theory and practice, between academics and professionals. And during the strategic meetings, we have a lot of partners. Today, we had Business Science Institute, and thank you, Michel Calica, because thanks to Business Science Institute, we could organize today in Trianon Palace in Versailles the first of this strategic meeting. We have Choiseul Advisory, and Choiseul is a very important network of professionals. We have Antidox, and it's a very important consulting firm. We had a lot of authors of the Encyclopédie de la Stratégie who try to rethink problems, to formulate new problems, and to help society and of course managers too, but to society and politics. And we have l'École de Paris du Management. It's a very important place in France where professionals and academics discuss since 30 years. And we want to have all these people trying to put their expertise in the goal of transformation. Can say that, transformation. It's our modest contribution. Thank you, Michel.
No, thank you, Jean-Philippe, for having the idea of this strategic meeting. It makes sense to put in the same room during one day DBA students, DBA faculty, managers, companies, because all together we face the same challenge, and we have to rethink the answer to the challenge. And we do think that the DBA is the way to answer the challenge that company, society face today. So it's a very good idea to organize strategic meeting with different partners, academic partners, companies partners, organizational partners, and of course Business Science Institute that is embedded in research managed by managers and faculty. So that was a good idea, and I think that for the first time it was a real success. Congratulations.
And we hope we'll have a lot of people like today in the next strategic meeting.
We hope so.